Now, you might have heard that I spent almost 3 months off work. I'm going to be taking a break from this YouTube channel.
Gasping.
Did I have to get any special permission to take time off for this long a period? Did I have to tell anyone when I wanted to come back to work? No. In fact, I didn't even book my return flight from Southeast Asia 2 weeks until I was due to come home. While I'm out of the country and my cab's just sat there, no one's working through the roster of all the cab drivers that aren't in today. Damn it, like, where's Tom? He's not come to work today. Oh, we need Tom in London. No one gives a damn if I come to work or not. Most mornings, I wake up around 8:30, I go to the gym, cook myself a nice breakfast, just take it really easy until I want to go to work. And the even weirder thing about this job is that I'm actually excited to go and do it. I've had it in previous jobs where you don't want to go back to work, you don't want to go back to your reality, your life. But because I've chosen this career path, because I've invested in it, and because I love it so much, I couldn't wait to get back in the driving seat, if I'm completely honest. And even more sadder about this situation is that I'm prepared to tell you guys on camera exactly what I love about it. It's probably not even in my best interest to let people know how good a job this is, because in theory, anyone else who becomes a taxi driver is my direct competition. But I enjoy the taxi trade, and specifically what I've been able to achieve and do within my personal life as a result of being a taxi driver. We need a healthy amount of taxi drivers. Currently, the number in London is declining, and that's if we just left it as it was. So we need more to enter the system just to stabilize the number, and of course more beyond that to increase the numbers, to ensure that we have a reliable and consistent service all across London. Now look, as much as I love this job, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. For instance, I have to sit in this glass box for hours a day, days on end. And we know that social isolation of this kind is a very bad detractor for your mental health. So that's where I want to introduce the paid partner of today's video, who are BetterHelp. Now, BetterHelp actually provide effective and accessible online therapy. Now, for many people, especially those within the driving profession, the words mental health or therapy might leave you shuddering a bit, because of course, we're always fearful that your operator is going to come down on you like a ton of bricks for even just entertaining this kind of conversation. We know this is an area of priority because TfL espouse the benefits of good mental health within their En route magazine, which they distribute to all of their drivers. In the same way that you would navigate your physical health and fitness with a personal trainer in the gym, well, your mental health can be optimized through a professional therapist in a platform like BetterHelp. To do so, just go to their website using my link, which is betterhelp.com/Tom Hutley, and answer a few personalized questions. This will pair you with a professional who's had years of experience with people who've had struggles exactly like yours. The best thing with the service is that it's designed to be accessible and convenient to you. So you can start off on your phone with the mobile app. You could use your laptop, start with messaging, maybe a phone call or video chats, whatever suits your needs best. Let BetterHelp connect you to a therapist who can support you all from the comfort of your own home. Just use my link, which is betterhelp.com/Tom Hutley, or choose Tom the Taxi Driver during sign up and enjoy a special discount on your first month. Money. Now, I'm not going to tell you exactly what I earn because I've made videos that kind of allude to how much a taxi driver could potentially earn. But what I am going to tell you about is exactly how this job has entirely changed my perspectives on money. First off, there is a lot of money around. It might not go in my pocket, but the whole rhetoric and belief that, oh, times are hard, we're in a recession, there's no money, is complete hogwash, right? There's always someone somewhere who has money. Just because I can't justify spending £80 on a taxi fare to Heathrow Airport doesn't mean there's not someone out there who can justify it. To someone who's got a family of 4 suitcases, is absolutely chucking it down with rain to get from door to door, from their hotel to Heathrow, £80 would be an absolute bargain. It's just another way of thinking about money and what journeys actually mean to someone. Again, £15 journey across town. Well, if someone's running late for a job interview, if they've got to conduct some important business in an incredibly time-restricted day, that £15 could be worth £200, £1,000, £10,000, depending on what that deal then gets them. Here's another unique money perspective. Every day in the taxi is payday. If I want to earn money, I just sit in the driving seat and I go to work. Today's a Saturday. I could be at home, chilling out and doing nothing. Or, if I want a bit of dosh, I just sit in the driving seat and come to work. And even better than that is that the money appears in my account instantly. You might be able to do some extra hours on the weekend for your boss or something like that, but you have to wait till the end of the month to get paid, generally. Whereas in the taxi, it either appears instantly in my bank account or in the form of cash. I can then go out that evening and do whatever I like with that money I've just earned. And going one step further, when I do get paid, as I'm self-employed, I pay myself first. What do I mean by this? Well, when you're employed, you get a nice lump of tax, national insurance contributions, pension contributions, student loan, all automatically deducted from your paycheck, and then you have your money to then do as you please. Being self-employed, working the taxi, I get all my money and I can prioritise what order I want to do it all in. Maybe that month I don't want to contribute to my pension. Maybe I have a big expense that I want to spend out on my cab, and that will help lower my tax bill. So the tax doesn't get automatically deducted. I get to make some spends before my tax is then calculated. Same goes for this YouTube channel. If I want to drum up some additional marketing and promotion to help with the growth of this YouTube channel, to help with the growth of my taxi service, I can spend on cameras, websites, and other marketing materials, and then calculate my tax after that. It's so cool that I'm directly linked to my income. If I've had a particularly good week or my expenses are a little bit lower, then I haven't got to go to work that week. So many people will get to this, arbitrary, I have to go to work Monday to Friday, I have to do these hours, because that's just what's expected of them. They might not be putting in any extra work, but they still have to be a face, they still have to show up. In the taxi, generally, hours in the driving seat equals money in my back pocket. And if I've been frugal with my expenses, maybe I've had a good week, I haven't got to turn up to the office and look like I'm being busy just to appease my boss. I am the boss.
I think that pretty much sums it up.
So one of the coolest byproducts of the job of being a taxi driver is that you are London expert. You are like Sherlock Holmes level of perception when it comes to the streets of London. When I come out on days off, I love to come get lost, like in the Barbican estate and anywhere else in London that I might not have explored before, and just constantly solidifying my knowledge. I'm completely away from the road now. I have no idea really where I am in terms of road perspectives, but I can just tell from that building that's actually the Beach Street tunnel that runs underneath there. So that's then Cripplegate, where that building's based. If you do become a London taxi driver, you'll never be able to just enjoy TV and film, because you're going to be looking at every little scene, every minute detail in how they're driving and thinking, well, how do they get from that part of London over to that part of London so quickly? I was watching The Apprentice last night, and it always astounds me the relationship between the boardroom, which always seemingly takes place in Canary Wharf, but the second that they're fired from said boardroom, they miraculously end up in West London. They're out by Acton, Hanger Lane kind of area. You look at La Cabana Caf, or the Bridge Caf, which they use as the little kind of debrief after the boardroom, and that's right out near Hanger Lane. In fact, I used to have to go to that area because there's a few cab businesses that are based down there. A couple of the credit card providers, CMT, Curb, are actually based there out in Hanger Lane. So even when the knowledge is done, you learn that intricate map knowledge, you're still forever solidifying it every time you get to come and drive in London, every time you experience London by watching it on TV like that, or just, as I'm doing today, having a walk round, going to the museums, and just constantly unlocking those aha moments, just finding out where streets rejoin to one another. But even as a real usable abstract skill, like the simple nature of getting out of a tube station, take Moorgate or Bank Junction, for example. There's about 8 different exits there. Other than the people that work in that local area, it's probably only cab drivers that know individually which exit and which side of the street you're going to come out on, so you can be optimised for the direction you're going. It honestly is an endless obsession. It gives me insight into how the underground runs across London. Even when you're just on the tube, and you're looking at all the individual stops on the map, and you can physically picture those stops, the street exit, all the different exits to get in and out of those stations. Even something just as simple as cooking a meal and then looking on the back of the label and seeing that its head office is quartered in London instantly takes you there.
This job is so easy. I am so overqualified to be a London taxi driver. I actually sat 13 examinations, known as appearances, before I was even allowed the privilege of sitting in this driving seat. And for some drivers, it's many, many more examinations. For me, it was almost 3 years of intense, hard graft before I got to achieve the gold standard that I get to solidify every single time I come to work. And because the hardest of the graft is done, I can focus on just enjoying the job. Beyond picking the most optimum route and maybe what days I'm likely to come to work, there's nothing more for me to do, which allows me the opportunity to be the most accommodating driver I can be. Whether that's helping passengers in and out of the taxi, providing nuggets of wisdom of London all around us, or just being the most efficient and smoothest driver I can be. I love it. Sometimes when I drive in this taxi, I like to pretend that I'm a pilot. I've already got the route. Once the passengers got in, I've already thought of that, checklist that all off. I then just focus on the driving experience, optimizing for different potholes I might see, hazards in the road, the upcoming traffic lights, what's the correct lane that I'm gonna be in. Almost very operator-like with that, in the same way that a pilot would. And then, when crazy, chaotic London throws me a curveball, like a road closure, a hazard, I'm hopefully already well ahead of it, and the passenger in the back won't have even spotted it. I try to be one with this vehicle, almost robotic, machine-like, but 100% empathetical to the needs of my passengers within the back. I am me. What you see is what you get. I'm not standing here behind some kind of corporate identity or being molded to fit someone else's agenda or narrative. You get me. You see, I'm here because I want to be here. When I got in my taxi this morning, I did it because I wanted to come into town and do the humble job of being a taxi driver, conversing with people from all around the world and spying up the most beautiful architecture, all whilst getting paid for the privilege. And that's what you get with every single London taxi driver. Men and women who've put themselves in this unique position quite intentionally. Now, yes, you might get the odd grumpy old cab driver, but I would argue the majority of London taxi drivers absolutely love their jobs. And yes, the job is getting much, much harder through legislation and restrictions that severely inhibit the way that we provide our services across the capital. We love it. This is our career. This is our path. London cabbies at your service. If you want to learn more about being a London taxi driver and what I still believe is the best job in the world, then I really want to hear from you. Have my videos inspired you to take up the knowledge, or maybe tell someone else about how great this career could be for you? Do drop it in the comments down below, and I'll also leave a video on screen about getting started in what the knowledge involves if you want to join the ranks of the best in the world. It's my biggest aim of this channel, to keep the London taxi trade flourishing and alive, providing the highest standard of service to any individual or group who may wish to grace this wonderful capital that I get to call my workplace.